Alright, welcome back to another league race, this time with TTML for the F2 race here at Austria. So this is what we're working with in terms of setup. Heading into this one, I felt okay. I mean, I wasn't really in the mood to race in a sense. It was just one of those days where I just wasn't really feeling it. But obviously I'm here to attend, so here's my qualifying, well, the end of my qualifying lap. A very average lap. However, I couldn't stop myself here. I just couldn't do it, and understeered wide the second to last corner, and yeah, I was like, oh, that really annoyed me. I was really not impressed with that, because a 13.5 is not a good lap, but it would have been good enough for P5, I think. So, and instead I'm down in P11, so that was really, really annoying right off the bat. But here we go. Then we're going to start on the super softs. And 5 red lights, and away we go. Good little start there. Going to jump Toasty and Matt immediately. That was a nice little start for myself in between two of those. Heading into turn 1, a little bit of contact, but not too bad. Back in, want to step away big time there, heading out of turn 1, and just try and dip into the slipstream then, and just try and hold position. Made up a few spots on the opening lap, so can't complain with that. We brake deep into the hairpin, a little bit of contact, try to get out of that, but thankfully Zexer didn't go round, so Wesker still behind me, so I'm going to try and defend this inside line, make sure he doesn't have any ideas to send one down there, so they can go the long way around. So anyways, I'm going to slide in here, a little space opens up there with beside Zexer, so I can just kind of get on the throttle a little bit easier. I don't have to worry about having to brake earlier if the car's right in front of me, so that was helpful, but not a lot else doing on this first lap. So conditions are overcast, but it's going to stay dry. Sun's coming out, and you can see then lap 3. I've been catching Maze, and going to get a good run. DRS is now enabled, of course, and yeah, going to get the run. Slipstream, pull over to the right hand side. He's got the outside line, but the racing line at the same time. So brake it in. This corner can be annoying to brake for, especially with these cars. You can kind of understeer very easily at the low speed. But we're going to try and hold this one. We are going to hold this one. Left a space in case he ended up leaving his car in there, twitch on the back end there, but we are through then and up into P8, which is reverse grid pole. So hey, happy days, that's all I can really ask for. Lap 5, I believe, yes, Zexer ends up heading into a wall, so that's a position made, so that's into P7, so not going to complain at that, and a free spot is free spot, so yeah. Heading on then to lap number 6. This is our pit stop. Pit window open this lap. I want to go in, exchange these supers for softs, and yeah, 42 miles an hour sped into the pit lane, and that really pissed me off as well. I didn't realize the pit lane limit was 37, but anyways, that's a 5-second penalty to add. Oh shit, that's just fantastic. That's the last thing I need, especially in F2 where it can be so close. So I was pretty annoyed at this stage because I'd fecked it all up with that penalty, and I immediately checked to see what Matt had, and he had 3 seconds. So I'd have to hope for another 3 seconds somewhere along the way, but yeah, not much I can do. But lap 9, here is Matt. He's got DRS. He's been catching. He was catching at the end of that first stint as well. And he goes on the outside, I think he tried to see if the inside was available, but I guess I was over enough to prevent that. But again, not a ton I can really do at the second part because, well, he's going to have DRS here, and he's going to get a good enough slipstream with that DRS, so he can just pull enough of himself in front. But I'm going to try and brake a little bit later. And again, I kind of missed the corner a bit, and that's going to allow him the better run on the exit, and that's the consequence. I was going to lose a position either way. So no matter what way that happened, I was going to lose a position. So, but heading on to lap 10, Matt gets onto the curb and boom, slams into a wall. I see that wheel is gone, and I'm retiring, actually hoping for a safety car at this stage. And lucky me, I get it. Now, the reason I wanted one was because I want to serve this 5-second penalty, and maybe we can put on set of supers, and maybe by the time the safety car comes out. Sorry, comes back in rather. I can, there's still some life left in the tires, and I can actually, push and make up some places on guys on soft. So, serve the 5 seconds. Yes, we lose track position. Now, look, or if this was if I didn't have that 5-second penalty, I would not have pitted. I wouldn't have done it. But because I had, and the field's going to bunch up, and I had no track limits penalties, I wanted to do this. This is why I wanted to do. But sadly, I couldn't go full pace because I'm not sure what the story is with the car in front, but I couldn't go full pace. And now because of, well, that's one of the reasons, as well being too far back after the pit stop, that safety car is getting ready to come in, and we can, look at this, I'm topping at 160, so I can't go any quicker. I'm not sure if the car in front can go quicker, but so the upshot is, safety car comes around into the pit lane, and everyone is green flag racing, and we're here. Now, we're not too far back, but it's not great, so I'm going to have to try and hope for some, I can make up some of this time on the super soft tyre, so, and maybe then I'll be in the penalty window, but have to get by Toasty first, and no DRS, of course, in these first few laps, so out to safety car, so again, green flag, and pull over to the right, and Slipstream will send me through on this occasion, so happy days. We'll get this move done. He doesn't really fight this too much, so over to the right hand side, and that will be into P10. So, but I'm still nowhere near reverse grid pole though. But thankfully, over the next few laps, some people will come into the pits, maybe confused on the safety car rules. I'm not 100% sure, but some people came into the pits, and that allowed me to gain some places. Now, lap 19, transmission again is high, and I lose third gear. I lost third gear, and I was catching Mays, and I was catching Wesker. I wanted to get Wesker within 3 seconds, and I may have been able to do so. Now, the tie wear is pretty high, but I think I could have done that, but missing a lower gear in F2 is pretty rough, and so, because you don't want to be, you lose so much time coming out of fourth gear as opposed to third gear, whatever the case may be. So I need third gear. Third gear is that's an important gear, and I don't, because it's the gear in F2 that you're Xing all your corners on as well. So not great, but here we go though. Look, ultimately it's P7, which means we're going to start P2 in the sprint race. So I just wanted to make sure we finish the race at this stage. But actually, coming over across the line, we're going to jump Wesker on penalty, so it's actually P6 in the feature race. So not too bad. That could have been worse. Again, I wouldn't have pitched had I had the 5-second penalty, but because I had it, I wanted to get rid of it. Now, would I have been better off staying out? I actually don't know. My only regret is I couldn't really catch the safety car in time. If I caught the safety car in time, I don't think that decision looks as bad, but that's what happened. Anyway, here's the sprint race. So Wesker in front. Steven's actually disconnected. Scuba disconnected in front, but away we go. And I get a good start there. This is a longer straight. I'll be in good shape, but you see there, I'm off the throttle. I had to get off the throttle a few times, and I hit into the back of Wesker, and it sent him round. And as soon as this race was over, I messaged him just apologise, because yeah, that leaves a poor taste in my mouth, and I don't know, it happens, it happens in racing, and if he reported me, I'd completely understand, and I'd take full responsibility for it, because ultimately I hit him and he's gone round. So whatever happens with that, I'm not sure, but I haven't heard anything yet anyways about it, so but I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, later that lap, just I'm going to fast forward actually in this lap, because we got Frunky behind, and he gets a better run out of turn 8, I believe. And I was like, please don't do this. This is not necessary without before DRS. So I left the room, but honestly, I think a bit more patience could have been had. So I tried to go for the, I get a better run out of the last turn, so I'm going to try and set one up the inside. But it's a dangerous place to overtake that, and I don't know. I just think on lap 1, it's an unnecessary risk, but I left the space anyways. So anyways, couldn't get him into turn 1, and that's going to leave me vulnerable to Coutinho then. And honestly, I was just hoping, Frunky goes defensive, so I can maybe try a switch back of sorts. Get not a bad run out of turn 3, so I'm going to track, the space on track now is the thing I'm more worried about. Pull over to the left hand side, as Coutinho tries to go down the inside. Frunky sticks to his into the middle of the track. Going to try a switch back here, and the run isn't bad. Not left a lot of space, to be fair, so that kind of ruined the run up then to turn That's turn 5, isn't it? 5 or 6, I can't remember which. But anyways, it's P3, well, P4, but again, for some reason, I think the AI must have been set really high for this race, because Scuba's just running away, and he's not even in his car, so... I think that's what Wesker was worried about, I think, in the lap corner 1 as well. He couldn't maybe approximate properly what the story was, but... Lap 5 then, here is a car, it is Legend. And you're going to try to go around the outside, and now I think... Yeah, he's going to have DRS, and again, there's not going to be a ton I can really do to fight this, because he's got DRS, and he'll just pull away on the left-hand side, so he'll be far enough forward where I can't try and break clear, but I'm going to try it anyways. Tad bit of contact, I lost the back end slightly then. This has happened a few times to me recently, actually, where I make a little bit of contact and the back end just slips away. Siege then is behind, but then he would drop off. I'm not sure what happened in the end, but... Or I can't remember what happened in the end either, but lap 7, Tom, or Honey Badger, is coming behind, and he's rapid. So he's going to go for the move down the inside, so I try and prioritize the exit. Well, I have DRS myself, so I got a better exit, open the DRS, and I should be able to pull away. I'm going to dip to the right-hand side to prevent the move down the inside, heading into turn number 4. And I'm going to hold on to this position for now, at least. But yeah, I'm not confident I can do that for very long. But I just wanted Legend to pull me along with DRS, and even still, Tom was just too quick. But he gets a, speaking of, he gets a, again, fast forward this lap, he gets a better run and slipstream, and he's going to go for this move as well. So again, leave the space, his nose is there. Bit of contact, I can't go any more left without going off the track. So I think that was just good, firm, hard racing. I think I'm very happy with how I went side by side in that complex, that speed, and with, you know, and cleanly keeping the position, I thought. So that was good racing, I thought. But again, I've not got DRS now, and you know, I'm sitting duck basically. So in this, I didn't really fight this one at this stage. He's heading down the inside. I'm surprised he didn't go down the inside. So I thought he was actually going to try on the outside. So I actually moved over a tad. But again, same story, DRS, this is lap 8 of 14, but yeah, he's just going to go through, and can I, again, I tried to brake a little late and get a decent exit, but he's on the racing line, and he'll get that exit, and he takes that position. So there's Siege, and there's a map behind me, and I'm 1.7 seconds, they're 1.7 seconds back. I'm squabbling, so I thought, okay, maybe we could be okay here. But Tom quickly catches up to the guys in front, and I think Frunky hit the back of Legend, but we dive out of the way. Thankfully didn't get collected in that, but that's a position made. So, but I did lose time though. I did lose a bit of time then to Matt behind, and getting closer to the end of the race, I'm not too happy about that, losing that time. Tom, I think he had an incident with Zexer. I'm not 100% sure, but he ended up going very slow then, and he retired at the end of the lap. So that's another position then. So I think effectively a net P3 again, because Scuba's at the front, but he's not actually in his car. Lap 13, here is Siege. I have no DRS, it's going to be pretty difficult, so I'm going to defend the inside line. Brake late if I can. I get a decent run. He goes quite wide, so I get a good run out of turn 3. And I have DRS myself now, so that really helps. And Siege is going to be vulnerable, and Matt's going to get him. Matt has DRS, so this is one more. I just need to hold on for one more lap. That's all I need to do. But again, there's 3 DRS zones here, and it's going to be difficult to hold on without DRS. So and my tires, by the way, are kind of. That was my first warning of the race, so I had to spend one there. But I thought, like, okay, we're in a good spot here. Maybe this might work. So, middle of the track, defending this line. The tires were about 3 laps gone at this stage. So, yeah, Matt is going to have DRS then. He's alongside where I can't just defend the inside line. So, but I have the racing line. So, if I get a good exit here, we're in good shape. This is the final lap of the race. I thought I had it, but the back end got away from me. If I hadn't lost it, I think I would have had a good chance to hold that position. So my last hope was to hope he had penalties as we finish. So that place is gone. I have to make sure now I don't lose it to Siege, because I've been overtaken a few times heading into turn 9, and that can't happen again on the last lap. So transmission going a bit, but I was a bit more conservative in the race with it this time round, so I had a bit more to fight at the end. But maybe I waited too late, but maybe not. But anyways, last lap and last corner. DRS is open, and it's going to still be P5 on track. So disappointed to lose a position at the last lap, but I thought more people might got penalties because it's 14 laps. It's not that less than 20 that the feature race has, and lots of people got penalties in the sprint in the feature race, but wasn't meant to be, sadly. But yeah, again, I apologise to Wesker. It was not my intention. But that's going to do it for round number 4, I think, of TTML F2. There's a week off next week, and I think it's Silverstone next. I'm not actually not 100% sure, but anyways, I'll enjoy the little break anyways. Thanks for watching, and until next time.